To another one today that could be, I guess, characterised as a season-defining sort of drubbing at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide and Geelong, and Port Adelaide were just taken to town by the Cats on their home deck, and the cost arguably is yet to be counted, with a number of very important players going down. This was no less than 2 minutes into the clash. Josh Sinn cops a brutal knee to the hip and sort of rib region, and I've spoken to the club. They've said that that's a hip pointer injury and he just goes down straight away. That's not one that you'd like to see. So depending on how the bruising heals up, that could be a couple of weeks on the sidelines. And then the hamstring blow. Jason Horne-Francis chasing Max Holmes, pulls up very sore, couldn't put any weight through that right leg as he was going off the ground. The club tell me tonight that they're hopeful he's avoided a tendon issue, which means that he's probably not going to have that 10-week sort of hamstring issue, but scans will confirm the severity of that tomorrow. Jack Bowes goes down with the routine hammy, but then the big one, Patrick Dangerfield, the skipper, who's been in arguably all-Australian form, almost their most important player. Well, he's done his hammy as well, and he's out for the Bailey Smith Cup on Thursday night. Can you believe it? And then Lachie Jones, if there wasn't enough carnage in the first half, he was the 5th player to go down with a game-ending injury, the 4th hamstring. Arguably, I mean, you'd say unprecedented numbers for hamstrings in a game.
Well, it's Stringgate, isn't it? That's what we're calling this game. That is a huge number, and it's interesting. Dangerfield, so this is his 5th straight season of soft tissue injuries, and I think just the difference between this and other soft tissues that he's had, he's played a majority of his games in the midfield previous to this season, so he's had a higher load through the body. They've tried to move him forward to avoid exactly this, so this one probably comes at a little bit more of a cost because he hasn't done as much work or grunt work in the season to get to this point, so he's one that they're going to have to really look after and manage to get back in the back end of the season.
Given how flexible they've been with Dangerfield in terms of where they need him to sort of quell opposition strengths, how big is that he'll probably be out for at least 3 weeks?
Well, they've restructured their entire forward line around him, really, and of course they should. He's the best forward, or one of the most impactful forwards in the competition at the moment, with his ability to change games when he needs to. He was instrumental in that victory over Collingwood, so they're going to have to put Ollie Henry probably back into that one out of the goal square position and see how the forward line restructures around that. Speaking
of influential forwards, Jeremy Cameron, amazing today, 7 goals, back at his peak.
Well, the best part of this was 5 of the goals were in the last quarter alone. So that surpasses any other run of goals he's had in a quarter in this season alone. His previous best was 4 in a game, so he's absolutely blown that out of the water. But his ability to know his kick, so that's a drop punt that moves beautifully. That's almost the similar position on the ground, and he knows that he has the distance in and around the corner snap. Goes back here, I love this, little kiss of the footy as he takes the mark as well for good luck. And then another one where he gets out the back and finishes it off beautifully, and that was right on the siren for his 7th goal. So he now sits 2nd on the Coleman with that 7-goal haul, with 27 goals, 2 behind Ben King as well, who does have a game in hand.
Absolutely, it does. It's hard to believe that, isn't it? Well, 2025, Port Adelaide were hoping it would be the year that Ken Hinkley broke new ground with a premiership, but it seems he's setting records of a different kind.
Yeah, he is, and this is quite astounding. So the first 2 numbers on the page are the biggest losses that he's had in his coaching career. So the 91 points against Collingwood in round 1, the 90 points against the Bulldogs in round 8. This here sits as a 3rd loss in that category. So his top 8 losses as a coach, 3 of those have occurred in the first 10 rounds of 2025. So that's a pretty damning statistic. The other one, they scored a goal from 11% of their entries this evening, Port Adelaide. 39 points total is their 3rd worst total in 10 years. So it's not only defensively, it's attacking as well. So they're pretty damning statistics when you're looking at Ken Hinkley and his coaching CV.
This is a preliminary final side from last year. What does it say about them as a playing group? What sort of team is Josh Carr inheriting? Is it a development team?
I think when you look at their list, they still have stars sort of across all 3 lines. They've obviously got a little bit of depth missing, particularly in that forward line. So at the moment, it's really Mitch Georgiades or nothing when it comes to a key forward. Lord's still developing. He's shown signs this year, but they've had obviously Dixon move on. He's retired. Marshall is out, which was a big injury for them to have over the off-season. But I think that's the area of the ground that really needs to develop. They need to find another key forward, or Ollie Lord. They probably need to get a little bit more out of him than they're getting at this stage. But I think time will tell whether it's game plan, whether it's the way that they're using the ball at the moment, whether it's Ken, whether it's going to be Josh to step in and change that. So I think we'll be able to see over the next few weeks where that's going, and potentially if Josh Carr takes over the reins early, how does that play out?